Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, comrades and friends, we have a brand new insane debacle going on here with respects to the whole Epstein Files. Apparently back in 2023, and this was actually reported on at the time, although we did not know the extent. You can actually go back to February of 2023. But apparently back in 2023, the FBI was hacked and there was a data breach. And this was in like the child crimes division, and apparently 100 terabytes was actually lost with respects to a little bit of the Epstein Files, but also other crimes as well. Of course, things that may or may not be related to the Epstein Files. And so we got some primary source documents. I want to read them out here today and just talk about them here because this is, again, another clear-cut case that the elites are being corrupt and that you are being screwed over as an American citizen. And they're basically telling you, look, we can do whatever we want. We can laugh in your face and we're going to come with smiles while we screw you over. Meanwhile, they want you to think that you're insane if you even want to call them out on this. And so let's get to it here. So the first thing here, again, these are sworn statements from an Aaron Spivak. Aaron Spivak, I hope I'm saying that name correct. But this was an agent at the time for the FBI at their New York offices. And he says around 3:30 p.m. or so, we located the log files and began combing through, which is when we noticed strange IP activity that took place yesterday from 2 IP addresses. The activity included combing through certain files pertaining to the Epstein investigation. I reached out to one of the case agents to see if they were in the office yesterday, thinking that maybe they inadvertently changed the setting on the NAS or if they noticed anything strange about them. Well, I'll tell you one thing. The strange activity here is because they're probably targeting the Epstein Files. Also, too, we got another little post here, and it says 500 terabytes of data was gone as a result of the intrusion. I was able to recover about 400 terabytes of that data. However, I was told to Google how to recover the data, and no one tried to help us. Interesting. First of all, who on earth, besides national governments or maybe the most extreme hacker groups on the entire planet, have access to FBI record databases, let alone concerning these level of crimes in 2023? Why? This is insane, first of all. So who is involved at such a high level that they're able to pull this off? And maybe we could say, okay, well, maybe if it's not a government, was this somebody internally who did this? They erased 500 terabytes of data, 400 of which was recovered. And now what I want to know is how the hell do you lose 100 terabytes of data? How is that even possible? And why is there not backups on various different clouds for stuff this sensitive, this important, let alone the whole Epstein case, right? Because I'm sure that there's some terabytes of data there alone for the whole Epstein case. What the hell about all the other cases that this happened to? And why are we not hearing about this true extent, about the true extent of this? This is madness. This is madness, ladies and gentlemen. But you know what? At the end of the day, the elites are going to look you in the face and tell you that you're the crazy one, right? That you don't know what you're talking about. And that, why are you still bringing up the Epstein Files, bro? The Dow Jones is doing amazing right now. Why would you even talk about the Epstein Files, right? It's not like, tens of people have mysteriously hung themselves or, mysteriously fallen off these massive skyscrapers constantly. It's not like that has all happened. And it's not like we have literal proof of them redacting people who should not be redacted, leading even up to the most famous people on the planet, Donald J. Trump, redacting his name when he should not be redacted in these files, right? Not the sheer fact that they're literally sanctioning murders in these files, and not a single person has been indicted yet. Ladies and gentlemen, if this isn't just madness here, and this is already adding on to this insane level of madness, I don't know what is. And I'll tell you one thing here: we have pictures of Epstein's mansions being raided, and there is just hard drive after hard drive after hard drive after hard drive of data. There's literally boxes full of hard drives. Now, I don't know. I can't say what the hell was on those hard drives for certain. Nobody can. But what I can tell you here is that we don't have access to them. And we're probably never going to get access to them. And I seen it funny the other day. The DOJ said that they're going to investigate themselves to see whether or not they've released all the Epstein files. It's like, investigate yourself. That's like letting a fucking genocidal maniac investigate themselves for genocide. It's like, okay, well, it's never going to work. It's not going to work that way. Also, too, I mean, and this whole data thing, like we've known that they've lost data for the longest time. Anybody says that they just doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. I mean, just even with the footage, right, and with the whole Epstein cells thing, right, we know for a fact that the warden and all these individuals included to basically say, look, we got to take out the tapes or no the hard drives to our our data, the HDDs, for these cameras and this whole system here. And this was right after Epstein died, by the way. So like, I wonder why that was the case. And they're like, oh no, like we might lose the data. It's like, first of all, that's not how a fucking HDD works. You take out your hard drive, it's gonna be just fine right on that little hard drive. It's gonna be perfectly fine. It's like, but you know what? They still managed to take it out, and then all of a sudden, wait, the hard drives are gone. Nobody has any access to them. Nobody knows where the hell it went. Nor do we even think about making a backup. I don't know, guys. I mean, something's sus here. Something's very sus. And, either Epstein's alive somewhere on some island partying it up here. Maybe it was some people are saying he's Mossad. I could certainly believe that. Could certainly be an agent of Mossad, for the Israeli government. That or they murked him, right? I mean, we know that there's fake bodies. I mean, so what's going on here? We know that Epstein didn't have a prostate. He admits to this. I don't know why the hell he would lie about that. 10 years before, by the way, he was murdered. Or at least smuggled out, because the autopsy report said that he didn't have actually that he had an enlarged prostate. But if he had it removed earlier, 10 years before, how exactly does he have an enlarged prostate? When they're doing the autopsy, shit doesn't add up, guys. And I'm here trying to call it out, trying to make you guys a little bit more enlightened. But we need to be preaching to our people at the top here. I mean, the revolutionary spirit in this country is dead, and it should not be dead. We should be speaking out in droves about this. This is how authoritarian governments take hold here, right? The people do not speak up about this, and they don't hold their leaders accountable. And then before you know it, they can just get away with anything that they want. And in this government and under this administration, to say nothing about the past administrations, because they're all just as guilty. They've all done horrible crimes that are just unspeakable. But having said that, this administration is so blunt and so just upfront about covering up these crimes that it's actually sickening. It's actually sickening. And yet nothing's probably ever going to be done about it. The only chance I think we have is a revolution, because the next president, they're sure shit they're not going to care one bit about this whole this whole situation, which is unfortunate. Right. And it doesn't matter who it is. It could be Republican, it could be Democrat. It doesn't matter who it is. Right. They're probably never going to prosecute anybody for this, which is just madness. And you know why? It's like, you know why that's the case? Because in order to become president, you have to be one of the most corrupt people on the planet. Right. I mean, I'm not going to say that every single president, maybe ever went in with those intentions, but that's certainly how it ended up. And even like the best presidents we probably had in the last century, I don't know, maybe Jimmy Carter, for example, even they have all their faults. Right. These are not innocent people by any way, shape, by any means, any way, shape, or form. Whether or not they're committing war crimes, or whether or not they're doing these domestic acts of just depravity. All I can say is it ain't looking good, and Congress, they're not going to be our hope. What do you think? What do you think, that they're going to do anything? I mean, these are the same exact people here who refuse to hold the DOJ in contempt of Congress, right? Because they're redacting everything, despite the fact that it's the law, the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which states that they are not allowed to do that. But here we go. Again, they do it, and again they get away with it, and again the people just get pushed to the side. They could care less about us. We are just pawns in their big game, right? They're just happy little festival here. They look at us, as if we're just an annoyance almost. We're just like sort of slaves to them. It's like, yeah, we need our little factory workers still. It's like, maybe we give you guys some food or something if you literally lose your job, and only do that for a little while. Then after that, we'll just sort of leave you out to die because we don't care about you, right? It's all about the elites, right? So I don't know. It's a horrible system here. Sometimes, it almost feels like, we're just out here in like medieval Europe, just sort of thugging it out in this country. Really bad. But at least in some places of the world, they're actually pressing charges on some of these individuals. So I don't know. We'll see how the story unfolds here. But every single day it gets worse and worse. And so with that said, ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy the video, we will be sure to bring you some more content moving forward. So hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll talk to you later. Peace.